Hello everyone, welcome to the video tutorial series of the web development. I am our instructor Varshata. Let's start our today's lecture. So at the end of this video, you will be able to learn about the CSS styling images. Then we will learn about the pseudo classes and then we will learn about what is the Bootstrap framework. So let's start with our CSS styling image topic. So styling an image using the CSS works exactly the same way as styling an element using the box model of the padding, borders and the margin. So the styling image that is exactly same as the box model. So there are many ways to set the styles in image which are listed over here that you can see. So here first one is the thumbnail image. You can define the thumbnail image. You can define the rounded image and you can define the responsive image that we have seen in the last lecture how to define the responsive image. So you have to make its width as 100% so it will become the responsive image. Then the transparent image and center and image. So let's learn about this thing in detail. So first one is the thumbnail image. The border property is used to create the thumbnail image. Okay, so whenever you are going to define the thumbnail image, what is that? So border 1 pixel solid black, border radius is equal to 4 pixel, padding is equal to 5 pixel and width is equal to 150 pixel. So this will become the thumbnail image. Okay, so let's see this in a program so you will have the better idea about this. Just a second. So let's see over here in this practical styling image.html. Here you can see that I have already defined these things. Here in the image portions, I have defined the border 1 pixel solid black. So whenever you are going to define the thumbnail image, so at that time you have to define this border as an attribute in which you have to define this value. And this border radius is equal to 4 pixels just to define the rounded edges. This is it is not compulsory to define this. Just see the output of this first and then define the border radius. So this will be what? Your thumbnail image. Here you can see we have defined the 5 pixel padding. So it will become like this. Now just define the border radius that is equal to 4 pixel. So what will happen? Let's see. So here you can see the rounded corner is there. Here you can see this is the sharp edges. Here you can see the rounded corner is there. Here we have defined its border radius is equal to 4 pixel. That's why. Okay, so if you are increasing the pixel value, then its edges become more and more round. Got it? So this is what the property of the thumbnail image. Now just close other tabs. Okay. Now let's see the another property. Now next property is the rounded image. Okay, so the border radius property is used to set the radius of the border image. Okay, so here border radius is equal to 50%. In last image also we have learned about this border radius is equal to 4 pixels. So just rounded that edges are there. Okay, so here if you will define the 50% the border radius property, so you can define this rounded images. So like this way. Okay, so let's see the output for this. Now let's see how to define this rounded image. So here you can see I have already done all this thing over here. Okay, so here I have put it this thing in the comment and after that I have defined this border radius is equal to 40%. Right now do first 50%. Okay, so just see the output of this. So you will have the better idea about this. Then we will see about the 10% and the 40%. So now here you can see this is the 50%. Okay, now just change it over here. So here you can see, suppose I am defining it as a 10%. So, okay, so less rounded this edges are there, and if you will increasing the value here you can see, suppose I am increasing the 40%. Okay, so let's see the output of this. Just save this value and just refresh this page. Got it? So this will be the output when we are doing about this as a, sorry, this is the 40%. If more than 50% you will write, it will consider just as a 50%. See here. Got it? So like this way you can define this rounded images. Now here next is the responsive images. So responsive images will automatically adjust to fit the size of the screen, as we have seen in the last lecture also. So whenever we are going to define the responsive image, we have to define its max width as 100% and height as a auto. Okay, so with this attribute max width 100%, this image will become the responsive. Okay, so here first to see the output of this. So you will have the better idea about this. Okay, so just put these things in this comment. Now specify the attribute, that is max width, that is colon 100%, and then define height, that is auto. Got it? So now here you can see this image will become the responsive image. See over here, just check it. Okay, here use this width as 100%, so it will become the responsive. See over here, now it will have the 100% size according to the screen, and whenever you are going to just decrease the size of the screen, see here, it is decreasing in size, and I'm increasing the size, so it is increasing the size. Got it? So this is the responsive image that we have seen in the last lecture also. Here just use this width 100%. Okay, now the transparent image, the opacity, the property is used to set the image transparent. The opacity value lies between 0.0 to the 1.0. The lower value, the more transparent. Okay, so here you can see the opacity, that means 50% transparency is there. So here you can see this image is with the opacity 1. Okay, and here 0.5, and here this opacity 0.1. Okay, so let's see this output in the practical. Okay, so here in the spectacle, let's define the opacity. I have commented this with 100%. Now define the opacity. That is, suppose I am defining right now 1.0, that is the by default. Okay, so see over here, the value of opacity that varies from 0 to 1. So now here, suppose this is the original one. Now here I am defining, that is 0.5. So what will be the effect of this? Let's see. See here, this is the lighter now. Now again I am changing the value 1. So let's see the output of this. Got it? So here you can see this is what the 0.1 opacity, this is one with the 0.5 opacity, and this is with the 1 opacity. Got it? So like this way you can change the opacity value of the image also. Now center an image. To center an image, set left and right margin to auto and make it into the block element. So here you have to define this display block. Margin left is equal to auto and margin right is equal to auto, and the width that you can define, that is a 50% or whatever the width you want to define. So this image will become in the center positions. So let's see the output of this. Okay, so let's do the changes over here. Now just put these things in the comment. Okay, and write this code over here. That is a display block, margin left auto and margin right auto. These things we have to define. So automatically your image will be in the centered positions. So let's see the output of this. So you can get the concept of this. So here you can see this is in the center. Now here you can see this is not in the center, but this is in the center. Okay, so like this way you can define the center of this screen. Okay, so that image is in the center. Now next one is the pseudo classes. Pseudo class is in CSS is used to define the special state of an element. So it can be combined with the CSS selector to add an effect to the existing element based on their states. So you can define the pseudo classes, for example, changing the styles of the any element when the user hovers on it or when the link is visited. That we have already learned when we have learned about this link, the different classes that is in the link. Okay, so when link is visited, the different color is there. Whenever you are clicking on the different color is there, that is because of the pseudo classes that we have seen. Okay, so all of this can be done using the pseudo classes in the CSS. So you do not need to use the JavaScript or any other script to use those effects. So the note that the pseudo class names are not the case sensitive. Okay, so pseudo class are different from the CSS classes, but they can be combined. Now, what is the syntax of the pseudo class? Selector, pseudo class, a property, value. Like this way you have to define. So the most commonly used pseudo classes are the follow, that is the link that we have already learned. Use this class to add the special styles to the unvisited link. Then we have learned about this visited class that use this class to add the special style to the visited link. Hover, so use this class to add the special styles to an element when you hover the mouse over it. Then the different class is the active, when you are clicking on the link, the color is different, that we have already learned. Focus, so use this class to add the special styles to the element while the element has the focus. So when the element has a focus, you can change the color of that background color. You can change the background color also. So like this, so you can define the focus. First child, use this class to add the special styles to the element that is in the first child of the some other element. Okay, so this classes we have already learned, that is the active, visited, link, etc. Right now we will see about this first child. So let's see this practical. So you will have the better idea about this. Okay, now here you can see in this, I have defined the pseudo classes for the first child. Okay, you can define for this. This is also one type of selector also. Okay, so here you can see the division tag is that, in which in this division tag the P as a first child. So when in division tag P as a first child is there, at that time this effect will be applied to that particular element, that is the P element. What effect will be applied? So here you can see the text indent, that is 50 pixel, and color is green. Okay, so this effect will be applied when there is a first child as a P in the division tag. So here you can see I have defined here the division tag. Here the P is the first child. This P is the second child of this division tag. This division tag is end over here. Now this is not the part of any division tag. This is the individual P. Okay, and next here, this is another division tag is there, in which this P is the first child. Right now we have not defined anything over here. Now let's see the output of this. What will happen? When we are going to execute this P will be affected, and this P will be affected with the green color and the indentation. So let's see the output of this, because it is the first child of this division tag, that's why. So here you can see this is affected and this is affected. This in the division, this is the first child as a P, and in the another div tag, this is the first child. Now let's see. Suppose I am defining the another tag over here. Suppose I am defining I or B, whatever tag you want to define. Okay, I, this is italic tag. Now the first child will become the I tag. The P is not the first child of this division tag. So what will happen? The effect of this will not be applied over here, because we are talking about the first child only. Here we have the different classes also, that is the nth child, last child, etc. Okay, so that is available in the CSS3. Now let's see the output of this. What will happen? See here, this is not affected right now, but here this is affected because in this spectacle that was the first child. Now here this is not the first child. Here this is the first child of the division tag. That's why. Got it? So like this way you can define the pseudo classes and the classes related to link that we have already learned. Okay, so this thing we have learned in the practical. Now basics of the framework like the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is the most popular HTML, CSS and the JavaScript framework for developing the responsive and mobile first websites. So Bootstrap is a completely free to download and the use. Now what is Bootstrap? So Bootstrap is a free front end framework for the faster and easier web development. So free framework is that Bootstrap includes the HTML, CSS based design templates for the typography, forms, buttons, tables, navigation, stand models, images, and many other as well as the optional JavaScript plugins are there that is available in the Bootstrap. Bootstrap also gives you the ability to easily create the responsive web designs. Let's learn about the Bootstrap history. Bootstrap, originally named the Twitter Blueprint, it was developed by the Mark Otto and Jacob Thornton at the Twitter and released as an open source product in the August 2011 on the GitHub. Okay, so before Bootstrap, various libraries were used for the interface development, which led to the inconsistencies and the high maintenance burdens. So Bootstrap 5 Alpha was officially released on the 16th June 2020, and version 5 Alpha is currently the latest version of the Bootstrap packages. So why to use the Bootstrap? Advantage of Bootstrap, that is easy to use. Why? Because anybody with the just basic knowledge of the HTML, CSS can start using the Bootstrap. It has the responsive features. Responsive CSS adjust to phones, tablets, and desktops. Mobile first approach is there. In Bootstrap 3, mobile first styles are part of the core framework. It has the browser compatibility that it is compatible with the modern browser that is a Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Edge, Safari, and Opera. So you can use the Bootstrap because of these reasons. Okay, so in this video, we have learned about the CSS styling images, pseudo classes, and basic about the Bootstrap framework. So thank you for watching. We will meet in the next lecture with a new topic. Thank you.